All right, we got Lux jumping on commentary here. Pretty hyped to see him out here.
Oh, these are nice. These are nice.
Dude.
Welcome to the next level of streaming. That's what I'm. Nice to see you, Dead James. Welcome to.
Yeah, dude, you too. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I kind of haven't traveled. You know, it's nice to make it out here finally. Nice to make it out here, and we got a treat coming up. My man MJG bringing out that Ivysaur. Not sure who the challenger is.
His name is Stoks. This is the first time I've seen him, so I think he's a newer player.
Okay.
A lot of new faces here today.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
And the competition's pretty solid. I know the last person, we were just kind of yelling and like randomly in the background while MJG was playing his last match, and the last game was pretty close. So.
Right.
And it's pretty early in bracket too. That's
Yeah, we're running a little behind schedule, but you know what are you gonna do? We have
a lot of people. Running behind schedule is a good problem to have when you have too many people in the tournament, because the more people we have in the scene, the better. So make sure you come out to the next tournament. It's always a fun time.
Right.
You just got to get more people into Smash. Doesn't matter what game, but we got Project M going right now. Game 1.
Yeah.
MJG versus Stoks. Stoks being the Mario, MJG being the black Ivysaur.
Yeah. All right, looks like MJG's getting a little bit of an early lead here.
Yeah, you can see him setting up with some of those seed traps, doing a lot of back air walling early. Just trying to get in there. Also, neutral out of shield just seems like a very potent punish option that he's been throwing out there. And he's got some combos going in right now.
Definitely. Yeah, I kind of like Ivysaur in this matchup because Mario got nerfed pretty significantly.
Yeah.
This matchup used to be pretty even, but now Ivysaur has a great gimp game on Mario with his nerfed recovery.
Oh, you put him away there. That was kind of, I don't know if he didn't really gimp him right there. He just kind of hit him with unexpected.
Right.
That kind of got started off. He had that crouch cancel down smash and then just put him off stage and just kind of went from there.
Right.
All right, now, good little string right there, put him into position. But MJG, just being a very veteran player, resets his position and just puts himself right back into the driver's seat, more or less. And now he's starting to work on that lead.
Right. Yeah, I like what I'm seeing from Stoks. Like, for a newer player, he's holding his own pretty well, but, you know, like you said, MJG just has that veteran player status.
Yeah, you can see him just kind of floating on the outside of his range. Oh, that was almost a very solid hard read, especially, you know, it's good to see from Stoks, because if you're like, you know, not the favorite coming in, sometimes you just got to show that you're here to play, you're here to throw out the heavy punish option. If it's there, you're not afraid to take that chance to win.
Right.
And there he goes, gets that backwards fair, and he puts up the Stoks. The Stoks are tied here.
Right.
MJG working on a pretty solid percentage lead, but that can go away pretty quickly. Oh, that back air, very good spacing.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Mario's recovery nerf is going to be pretty
very significant
in this particular matchup, because Ivysaur with that great gimping back air.
So for our viewers at home that don't know the you know, the changes between 3.02 and 3.5, what exactly are the changes on Mario's recovery?
As far as recovery goes, his he can no longer wall jump out of his up B.
Yeah.
Unless you're basically like touching the stage when you start it, because it checks for the up B on frame 1 now.
Okay.
So basically, it's only a viable option on stages with walls that go all the way down.
I got you. Okay, so that is significant, and we saw. Speaking of significant things in the matchup, MJG did miss that solar beam, which he had been charging throughout the game. It's kind of a nice little trump card that Ivysaur gets to have in his back pocket for the late stocks.
Right, and another thing they changed about Ivysaur is previously he could charge his solar beam by sweet spotting the balloon on this stage.
Is that no longer an option?
Yeah, they made it so he can't charge off of inanimate objects anymore.
Gotcha. Not sure how I feel about it. I mean, it is what it is. Not a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm sure it didn't matter too much. I mean, every little bit helps, obviously, but
yeah.
Oh, that was a very well spaced down. Oh my God, he got killed by that. And true to the name of the tournament, he did not DI, so he died. And right now we're grinding it to a halt. Very just kind of a good poise by Stoks right there. When you're behind, you don't have to go in. I see so many times where all these new players, when they're behind, they feel like they have to, you know, approach.
Right.
But you always have the option of running the timer and controlling the game pace. You don't ever have to just really go in. So it's very nice to see, you know, just kind of picking a spot, trying to make something happen. Maybe got a little bit over aggressive right there, but it's nice to see, you know, just kind of stick to the game plan, throw those fireballs, get that camp game in, and see what you can make happen.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's got 4.5 minutes left, so that stock's not going to go anywhere as long as he plays it safe.
Ooh, and he almost had a little bit of run right there, but MJG is able to neutral her out of there. Was starting to bring that back a little bit, but right now he's looking a little bit down.
Great presence of mind from MJG, just eating through those fireballs with his big meaty aerials.
Yeah. You can see him actually getting a little bit more aggressive too. I think just trying to choke away the life out of this game. He seems like he's got a little bit of a lead to work with, though, so he has some room to make risks if there's such a time.
Right. Ooh, very smart recovery from Stoks there. That risky air dodge pays off for him.
And Stoks is in trouble, kind of at kill percent. Gets out of neutral air. Oh. Down smashes out of that. I looked like MJG was going for something janky for a kill.
Yeah. Great avoiding the seed bomb. Oh, wow.
And that was a very smart frame trap. I don't know if you caught the pivot grab like underneath.
Yeah.
He didn't. The seed hit, so he didn't get the pivot grab, but he was trapped. Like that's kind of like a checkmate situation.
Yeah.
MJG taking game 1.
Yeah. I like what I saw from Stoks though.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the stronger new players I've seen today.
And he's taking a little bit of time, just kind of considering his counter pick right here. Just so as a Mario player, where would you be going if you're Stoks?
Mario, as far as neutral goes, Mario doesn't really have any bad stages per se. Like I said, with the nerf to his up B wall jump, walled stages are going to be favorable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of them are pretty big, and Ivysaur is going to live for a while. I don't think WarioWare would be a bad choice.
Oh, that looks like WarioWare got banned maybe on the striking because.
No, it's still.
It's still there. Okay, so WarioWare might be an option, especially with the walls and being smaller. Yeah. Oh, we got that mask up. Meta Knight or quit.
MJG going Meta Knight. Yeah. Meta Knight, another character nerfed. I still think he's very strong in this game.
Yeah. I think from a popular standpoint, the reviews have been mixed on the character so far.
Yeah.
And for those of you that back home that don't know about the little bit of history of the meta game, MJG, the top player in Kansas, ran out mostly Tin Link, but by the end of the meta game was starting to use a little bit of Diddy Kong, but also Meta Knight. And
yeah,
I would say, arguably, as one of the higher level brawl players, I would say his Meta Knight was probably in the top 25, top 30 in the country.
Yeah,
which kind of says stuff. Right now, he's kind of on the business end of some forward airs from Mario, but so it might not necessarily translate to Project M very well.
Yeah, I mean, if you can play Meta Knight in Brawl, he's pretty similar in Project M. He just has combos, but this matchup is not fun for Meta Knight.
Yeah, I'd imagine a lot of the crouch canceling options that Mario has would probably wreak havoc on Meta Knight's game. Plus, SDing is probably not a solid option. There are probably better ways to land than the blast zone.
Not only that, Mario has a very long chain grab on Meta Knight.
Oh, really?
It goes to about 60%, maybe a little more. And it looks like Stoks is going for that. But
yeah, it looks like he kind of dropped it a little bit.
Yeah. And another thing is Mario's fireballs, although they were nerfed, are still a huge threat to Meta Knight because he, with the transcendent properties of his sword...
Oh, you can't clash with the hitboxes on the projectiles.
Exactly. The only attack he has that can clank with projectiles is his dash attack.
Gotcha.
And it's very awkward.
Hey, you gotta commit to that. What's the frame advantage on clash of the projectiles? Like, is that determined? Is it like frame neutral if you clash out the projectile, or is that something that's determined by the move?
I'm fairly certain it's neutral. It might be something you have to talk to Strongbad about.
Gotcha. And right now I got a pretty even game.
Ooh, very smart recovery from Stoks, recognizing that he's not going to be able to challenge that neutral air, so he just goes high.
Yeah, at the end of the day, if you can make your opponent have to just earn their kills instead of giving them, some free and easy ones, that's a little bit of a, if you can imagine people have the mental fatigue, stamina that they can run through in a match. If they have to exert that mental force to even pick up a routine kill, that's a little bit more in your favor. It might pay off later on, just kind of like the body blows in boxing. Might pay off in the later rounds. If it goes to game 3, late tournaments, stuff like that. That stuff tends to matter, believe it or not.
Yeah, definitely.
And right now it's pretty even. Almost only 1% separating the two of them. Very, very interesting to see the adaptations. It's just a very different matchup between the Ivysaur and the Meta Knight on MJG side, and Stoks playing accordingly, just kind of adjusting his game plan up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. MJG doing very well here, especially since he counterpicked to an unfavorable matchup. It may have just been a stage preference thing, though. This definitely is a very good Meta Knight stage. Right.
It could be that he just, sometimes when players are developing new characters, MJG might want to work on that Meta Knight, and since he has that game cushion and he has his own counterpick, then if it doesn't go well, he could always just say, oh, well, we're going back to Ivysaur.
Right.
Oh, it goes through that the dimension can't mix up and picks up the hit, and Mario's in a little bit of trouble.
Ooh, wow.
Oh, very good sweet spot on that recovery. Had to have precision there because that forward smash was waiting for him if he went over the edge.
Yeah, that was like max range on the Mario Tornado too.
Somebody came prepared to hit some buttons pretty quickly, get as much vertical momentum out of that as possible.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, MJG just boxing it out right there, picks up and just walk back forward smash, and that range on that just seems to be wreaking havoc on Stoks' game because that's a couple of the stocks that he's taken.
Yeah, and that is definitely one of the areas where Mario struggles is with range.
Yeah.
Despite having a very good projectile game now, he still struggles.
And in the situations
range.
when you're at that range disadvantage classically throughout fighting games, it's kind of when you really have to just sort of be patient, pick your spots very carefully, and just, find the holes through the range, because, every wall has a hole, even though as much as we like to, make things as frame safe as possible, most walls have a hole. You just got to find it eventually. But if you try to play that boxing game, hit for hit, if you're outranged, then you tend to lose and get boxed out.
Right, and Stoks doing a great job of not taking any extraneous percent here.
Very good pickup. You see that wave dash back, picks up that forward smash, just kind of found the hole in the wall and just shoved his hand right through, put a little fire on it too, and tied up the Stoks. It's very interesting saying Stoks tied up the Stoks. We got to work on this guy's handle a little bit because it's killing me here. But
I don't know. It's better than some of the handles we've seen tonight. I feel like we got to give people a seminar on how to make a gamer tag. We've seen some pretty silly names.
But getting back to the match, it looks like we got some chain grab action here. Oh, he drops that. That's where you you get that. You work so hard to pick up that read here on the last stock, and you put him in the 60. You're right there with him, but that's unfortunate. That might be the breaker of the game. MJG just throwing out that up smash for range.
Yeah, and that's got to feel bad because that could have potentially been a 0 to death if he hadn't flubbed his execution there on that chain grab.
Yeah. And if it's a new player kind of thing, that's just one of those things. As time, nerves might come into play. Tech skill comes into play. That'll, as you get more experience, whether it be practicing more tech skill or getting better at handling nerves of the pressure situations of being on the last stock.
Right.
That'll get better, and we'll see more of Stoks for sure in the future.
Yeah, I hope so because I really like what I see from him.